Hello, Brother Kenneth here for the Art of the Deels, and in this episode, I'm going to talk about the origin of demons a little bit. There's about demons in the title itself, the name demons. Okay, first off, demons is a word that people are misconstruing as something like the souls of the Nephilim, for example. The Nephilim were the giants that were, they were said to be hybrids, like as though the fallen angels were able to come upon women and then basically impregnate them, and then the result was offsprings that were giants. And that's all Nephilim really points to, is giants. And we know there's been giants, but there's not that many. We don't find them by the thousands necessarily, but people say, oh, it's down deep in a cave. We find way more dinosaurs and varieties and all those things. But they were giant humans. And I might have mentioned in one of my previous videos, in short, and I do that a lot, I jump around a little bit to sort of add support for my statements, that it's not possible in any way, and don't disagree with me because you're wrong. It's not me, it's anybody who knows about this stuff. Spirits cannot mate with human women. They just can't conjure up the seed and then implant it. They can't steal it from a man and expect it to live, and they bring it all the way over there. Oh, it's coming over this time to live, I'll make it. It's like Curly carrying the ice cubes up the steps in that Stooges episode. But it's even more absurd than that to believe that they can actually impregnate them. What happens is when they said came upon them, and it says it in Catherine Emmerich's book when she goes into detail about, in other saints' writings, was that that's a possessed person. That's what they call it, coming upon them, is possession. So if a male is possessed and then he engages with the woman and she's possessed, the result will be something that'll be pretty much like could be a hybrid that's small, like little pygmies, the ones that they tail like this, could be very large. But that's what would the end result be, and it very much makes sense. Like they can distort the DNA, but it's still a human because it came from a man to a woman. Okay, so let go of that. Now, and the other thing is, if there's that many Nephilim who died and they left, then their souls are here wandering around, trapped here, or whatever. You really think that we'd have such a problem? You think guys like me would be needed? You think priests, exorcists, deliverance teams, whoever's out there dealing with this stuff on some level, you really think there's a couple thousand or 5,000 we all be like active like this? No. One of the things you got to look at too is how many demons there really are, but we'll get to that in a minute. So if there was offspring of the Nephilim and somehow or another they were able to stay here on Earth and they weren't sent immediately to hell, why would they get why would they be roaming around here like a purgatory ghost? In general, I mean, because they'd be human. They would be human. There's no new souls made. Demons can't make new souls. It would have to be possessing them, for their opinion, is the same as if that's their soul. So they try to mimic being, when they possess people, like having a body and all that stuff. And they like that. They like to take it around. They like to exploit it. And the moment of where they can control a person and try to manipulate as many as possible for their evil. So if the demons had been the souls of the Nephilim, there wouldn't be that many, first off, and they wouldn't be here because they would be condemned to hell. What do you think, they're going to reform or something in purgatory? Or, it doesn't make sense on that level at all. Even if you're another denomination, you don't believe in ghosts or purgatory, you are saying that these are ghosts here on the planet, because it's not possible for demons to create another soul, of a demon. There's no support for it. So when we say demons in this ministry of any level, who knows, even the people we disagree with, we all mean the fallen angels. Now, the fallen angels, there's 1/3 of the angels cast down from heaven. They call them fallen, whatever. I don't think the floor just dropped out from underneath them and they fell through and fell out of heaven. If there was only guardian angels on this planet, and all of their numbers is the only number they have, there's only 6.6 billion guardian angels, or angels, period. If 1/3 of those fell, that would only be 2.2 billion, wouldn't it? Based on the current population. That's if there's only one kind of angel, guardian angels. And we know there's one for every person. So they do a number of things, and there's different choirs. There's 9 choirs. And we're only talking about the number of guardian angels in contrast to the fallen. And so if there's 2.2 billion, when we look at it that way, that's a lot of demons right there in itself. So that's pretty much what I wanted to cover here. And basically covered When demons, we mean fallen angels, always. And I don't care if you come up with a book of Enoch and you say something different. No, that's not what we mean. You're out of the mainstream of conversation. It's like if you go to a doctor and you made up all your own terminology, and you think he'll understand you. Talk and walk. When you're in Rome, talk as the Romans do. Don't throw the stupid demons are the souls of the Nephilim stuff. That's a poppycock, as they say in England. And that book of Enoch has been rejected by all churches. It's ridiculous. The scientists believe that it was out in the 1500s. That's when it was crafted, written. And I don't even think it was at Council of Nicaea, but you notice it did not end up in the first Bibles, so it didn't make it past the Council of Nicaea. Why? What was so horrible in there? Well, some of these black religions that worship the demons and their master, they get taught somehow or another that the keys of Solomon, the ring of Solomon, can order demons around, and so can they. They can conjure a demon, they can tell him what to do, and he'll do it for them, and then there's no consequences whatsoever. The demon doesn't want them to do anything in return besides do some lame ritual. I think that's why some people keep alive this book of Enoch, because it opens up that idea that demons are misunderstood and they can redeem themselves somehow, or any of those things like you've got out of the movie Noah. And so you got to watch out for that. This is a trap. There is no white magic, for example, and you can just go conjure up a demon, and because you're telling them to do good things, that suddenly you're good, you're doing good, and demons are good because they actually have some sort of dual nature. No. Everything demons do is going to be for your undoing in the long haul. They look at the big picture like the master chess player. They don't individually ad-lib each move. They have all of them pre-configured, and already pre-planned. So don't trust a demon, all right? Anybody who ever married somebody who was just horrible, you saw their nice side first, the narcissistic side, that might have been, the manic side of the upper spectrum of bipolar. And then you fall in love with that, and then after the 2 years of courtship and infatuation's gone, they start to show their true colors. And guess what? They're a wife-beating drunk. Okay? So, as I always say, don't trust the person and think that the dark side's not going to dictate who they really are, because it will. Look at Ted Bundy. Look at other mass murderers and stuff. One of the guys, always say that the neighbors thought he was just a model neighbor, but he had the bodies of little boys under his house. So, use your head, all right? But this is more of a thing that we're talking about terminology. Demons and the number of demons. So the numbers are off. They're going to be way high in the later billions. And that explains why we deal with them in such a hard level today. They've been invited in the world so much. They are here. Most possessions wouldn't happen if some of these denominations are right. They're all trapped in hell and they got a key. Okay, then what do you need deliverance for? If they're all there. Why do we have so much trouble with this? Yeah, and there's a lot of them out there that are psychological, but we can't tell if it's a demon influenced them on a small level, like temptation. They work at you on small levels, but when they're manifested in this world, that's another matter. When they're actually affecting this environment, making people sick, and all that stuff, and that's been the activity since the beginning of time. Okay, that's about all I'm going to say about this topic. So until next time on the Art of the Deels, this is Brother Kenneth Deel saying good night, God bless, good day, whichever time you're watching it, and I'll see you at another time, or rather, you'll see me. Bye-bye.